This broadcast is inappropriate for all ages right here on hashtag WeAreMovieClub. It's time for Bad Movie Club. Salutations, I am Camerai, and this is Bad Movie Club, where we get together to talk about the shitty movie of the week. This one is Ghostrider 2, Spirit of Vengeance. Or I think it's just Ghostrider Spirit of Vengeance. Yeah, so if you see right here. But it's the second Ghostrider one. I insist on numbers in any franchise style type thing like that. It is what it is what it is. Nick Cage is a very special actor, blah blah blah. I said that last time. This is a sequel to the same movie where he freaks out and does weird shit trying to transform into Ghostrider. I'm going to be skipping over a lot of stuff here because it's established in the first movie. I will point out that this movie is stylized very differently from the first one. The first one was lots of white and yellow and red, and this he's very much more gray and black. Even his skull has like a really dark thing to it, like to show that he's a veteran now and that like he's been burning for a while or something like that. It feels like this Ghostrider character is a little bit more serious than last time, but I don't know. It's not really much to say for it. But we open on a motorcycle going down the road, transitions into not Blade. It looks like Blade. It looks like it would be, but it's some French guy, turns out, chasing a mother and son through a war zone in a monastery. I don't know what to say about this opening and the setup and the whole purpose of this movie. It's very odd. But they escape. The not Blade character flies off a mountain chasing them, and we hit credits and some narration, and I stopped paying attention. I was bored right out the gate. I don't know why they thought that was a good way to open the movie. Just lots of disjointed shit happening everywhere. Oh, man. I don't get it. So the point is that Ghostrider gets charged with saving the lady and her son, but he doesn't really know how to do that. Lady and son are on the lam, they get made, Ghostrider pops out and takes off. Let's just pretend for the sake of argument that he has a ability to track the kid, because that's essentially what it comes down to, regardless of the reasoning. It comes down to like Lucifer was banging mortals again, and he's the one on Earth right now, the son of Satan, if you will, that Ghostrider can hunt down. And you would think like he's still a kid, he hasn't committed any atrocities, just because he's powered by Lucifer's or the extension, or is it extension of Lucifer's power? That doesn't make him evil. And Lucifer wasn't like evil, like, and he grew that way, twisted in hell, per se. But that doesn't mean the kid's evil. It doesn't. Maybe it's just devil power is inherently evil on the tracking meter for Ghostrider. I don't know. They don't explain shit. But there's a mobster looking for the lady. He threatens her a lot. Because he finds her. Ghostrider shows up, and of course we see him with the black skull at this point. He burns half the mobsters alive. The mobsters take the kid, and they do a little bit of damage to the Ghostrider, essentially using like grenade launchers. And it's not that they are really like hurting him like to the point where they're going to kill him, but they're disabling him enough that he has to deal with the situation. It's like hitting Hulk with a building to slow him down. It's not really going to put him away forever, but it's going to slow him down. So at some hospital, Johnny Blaze wakes up asking for drugs, and the whole point is not that he's a drug addict, it's to keep the writer sedated, to keep him from coming up, because he could feel him fighting to escape. But Johnny is trying to get out of the hospital. He escapes. He sees the lady. They lock eyes. She leaves. He follows the mom from earlier. So there's a lot of fast-paced stuff happening. Like we already built up through the first act, as far as I'm concerned, with the kid getting grabbed, and then it's just a really long second act to an early third act of actually trying to resolve the actual problem, or dealing with the resolution of the problem. So outside somewhere, the kids are throwing the mobster's throwing the kid around. Sorry, makes a phone call, ups his price because they didn't realize that Ghostrider would be involved, and the Lucifer, being the king of deals, like, yeah, well, he wouldn't tell you that up front, but he knew it was coming, so he would be ready for that. But Lucifer tells him to put the kid on the phone, and the kid screams and falls down. The explanation for that is essentially that he uploaded firmware. That's not what he says, but that's what he meant. So, yeah, so he upgraded the kid. So I think he unlocks his powers right there. But outside the hospital, Blaze feels like the kid either get hurt or the powers enact, whatever you want to call it. He keeps following Mom. Mom's still in the car. They drive off together because why not? In the car, they have this weird expositional discussion about the devil. She's the devil's baby mama, is what it really boils down to. In the mobster car, the kid ends up crashing the car and runs off, cracks his ankle. Miracle he survived the car crash, by the way. I think he was the only one wearing his seatbelt was what happened. But the boss ends up chasing him, and he manages to catch him because his ankle's broken, or the kid's ankle's broken, and they jack some hippie's van, who happens to be nearby. Who knows if they killed the hippies or not? Not important to the story, apparently, that they're that bad to kill people in front of the kid. Johnny and Lady, they seek out a lead. They shake down a guy. He gives it up. They run. It's like, it's very much the movie's going, it's not important why, just let's go with it. And that's fine. And on the road, Johnny ends up trying to fight for control against the Ghostrider, and it is really, really bad. Like, it's ridiculously funny, but it's just, I can't believe this got put into a movie bad. At the mobster location, the mobster ends up buying RPGs from a Russian. If you're not familiar with what an RPG is, other than a game, it's a rocket launcher, a rocket-propelled grenade. So the mobsters, okay, so Mom goes to save the kid. The mobsters end up using a seeking missile on Ghostrider. I don't know if it's a heat-seeking missile or if it's a tow missile, which doesn't make sense because there's no room for the cable, or if it's like a guided missile of some kind and they can direct it. I don't know. Maybe they have someone else painting, and I didn't see that. The point is that it seeks out Ghostrider, and it's completely unbelievable. And there's a full mercenary company that they've hired at this point to fight him. And I really think this is just somebody sitting in the room like, you know what would be really cool? If Ghostrider fought an army. Well, we don't have the budget for an army. How about one company? And it's like, okay. But he takes a missile directly to the chest, and he manages to get up and come back. He literally eats. They shoot into his mouth, like, just a comical farce of a character. A full clip of Uzi rounds, and I think he spits them out or they drop out of his jaw or something. And then he rides the digging crane, and it becomes a hell vehicle. Like, they blew so much budget this early in the movie on stupid shit. Mom tries to run off with the kid. Ghostrider drops the mobster to chase the kid, which if they'd waited 30 more seconds, he would have penance-stared the mobster and it wouldn't have been a factor. But the kid ends up expelling Ghostrider from Johnny Blaze. And I think later on he says something like, you want me to take it away. So let's see, like at the restaurant they bond, the kid's leg's all healed because he's superhuman. At the fight site, Lucifer shows up and resurrects what I thought was a soldier because of the way he's dressed, because I don't remember him dressed that way during the fight, but it's the mobster boss, Kincaid or something like that. And he tells him to go get the kid, but Lucifer gave him the power of decay, which I think means that, like, he can't, like, anything he touches rots, like King Midas. So, like, same problem with King Midas, he can't actually eat. Hopefully it's just on his hand, but who knows. So They're like riding on the back of a truck for some reason. I feel like they don't explain like how they got the means of transport, which is fine because it would have been boring as shit. But Johnny explains to the kid about like peeing as Ghostrider, where it's basically like having a flamethrower for a dick. So they bond. Knotblade shows up, weird French guy, and takes them to the mountain monastery, where Johnny delivers the lady and the kid to the monks. And it's the dude from Highlander who really has too many tattoos. Like, I've seen some porn stars and whatnot that really take it that extra mile to go for alt model. But this is like close to the guy who looks like a literal lizard. Like he's tattooed that much of his skin. It's crazy. And you would think there would just be someone who just like, I just want to be a different color. And they would tattoo that color. So the French dude tries to make Johnny feel better. And I don't even know what this note means. It says this devolves into some stupid, weird special effects scenes. No idea what that actually means. I can't remember. It apparently doesn't matter. That's how bad this movie is. So the next day, the monks are dragging her away. I don't know why they pretended to be good one day and then murdery the next, but they end up having to subdue the Frenchman and Johnny, which they shouldn't do. And they announce they intend to destroy the child because there's no other way to get rid of the power that he has, being the spawn of Satan. Like, it kind of has that problem to it that like he would be an embodiment of evil. It makes a lot of sense, but like there's got to be an alternative. So what is that alternative? Really, if you really just make him his father's son and have him turn against his own father, that's the way to go, really. So, but I don't know, with the bond that they naturally have because it's a supernatural heredity. Who knows? So at the execution site, Kerrigan, that's the decay guy, shows up. So he also has the power of darkness to make everybody essentially blind. And then, so he blinds everybody in the vicinity, and then he uses the power of decay to break the sword and the monk's hand. He ends up taking the boy without decaying him, which I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can actually hurt the kid, being that the kid is the son of Satan. He might have like a inherent like power or something. So he takes the boy. Mom, Johnny, and Monroe the Frenchman argue about what to do next. Lucifer or Rourke or whatever his name is. Rourke creeps me out from Sin City a little bit because that was the power name there, and I'm sure there's a reason for it. I'm sure like one of the generals of hell or whatever, like the same place where we got the name Satan and the devil and Beelzebub and all that. Like I'm sure Rourke's really one of those. Like I've yet to look it up, but why prepare? So Lucifer talks to Danny, the little boy. See, you'll notice how the names are popping up later because at the beginning they didn't matter. But they have a very inappropriate talk, and he sedates him. And then like there's this amphitheater where the boys walking up in time for the ritual. There's a small gathering of people in the stands, and it really looks like a amphitheater out of ancient Rome. Like it's that dilapidated, but I mean it's a temple ruin monk monastery place. I don't know. It looks like they had to go somewhere else, but it looks like the same place. It's really confusing. It's hard to track. They did not do a good job on that. But Mom's apparently like this great sniper. So while Lucifer and Danny are doing synchronized swaying, Mom's taking out security. Johnny and Monroe fight their way in. Monroe comes from up top of the amphitheater, starts shooting into the crowd of people, and hits a couple of guards as well. Kerrigan finally engages, blinds and decays Monroe, who headbutts him and then explodes from the decay, which I thought was an epic way to go out, honestly, because it kind of blinds Kerrigan for a minute. So it buys Johnny another couple seconds. Johnny comes from backstage and punches Lucifer, which is fine. Like, you can't... I don't think the Hellfire hurts Lucifer, so, like, you gotta just punch, I guess. Tries to convince Danny to run off with him. Danny doesn't agree. Kerrigan grabs Johnny. Danny ends up jumping onto Kerrigan and vomits flames on him, which I thought was pretty cool. Pretty cool to have that. Ghostrider bursts out and burns everyone, because why wouldn't he? That same almighty push type move from the first movie in the jail cell. Whoever is left jumps in cars and takes off. I don't know why there's anyone left, honestly. Ghostrider ends up summoning his cycle, which I forgot that it could come to him like that, and pursues. And they're firing like anti-tank rounds at him, which is amazing. But he takes one of their trucks and rides it, so like it becomes all hellfiery. Mom's in pursuit as well. Kerrigan jumps onto her hood. Who the fuck knows where he actually came from? He may have actually jumped out of one of the trucks that are running away and like popped up on her hood. Because I remember him cracking her windshield pretty hard. Sorry about that. My nose is killing me. What the fuck? So Ghostrider ends up pulling Kerrigan to the truck because he's standing on the back and he chains him. So I have no idea who's driving that truck. Maybe the boy? No, maybe? I don't know. Who knows? And then so Kerrigan uses the darkness power, and they tumble off the truck onto her mom's hood again. Just a friggin' mess of things. And then Mom ends up running another truck off the road. Ghostrider finally hits Kerrigan with the penance stare, and he falls and crumbles because I don't know. Like I was gonna say, like obviously the decay is gonna ravage him, but who cares? Ghostrider finally catches up to Lucifer, who I guess is in like the lead truck. I don't know. He crashes the car with a chain. And Lucifer says something along the lines of, "You were the worst deal I ever made." And I have a note here that says, this is not how anything works like this. And I'm assuming the physics is what I'm talking about. But he shouldn't be able to hurt Lucifer anyways. Like, he is an agent of hell. His power highly depends upon hellfire, which Lucifer should be immune to. But of course, he should be bound in hell and not able to walk on Earth either. So, we're bending rules left and right here. But he burns out Lucifer's physical body. Now, that could be how it happens, is that Lucifer's actually remote possessing, like, a human body. That might be how he's able to walk. And that would explain why someone's able to hurt him. But I want to say, like, in the first movie, they established that the writer can't hurt Lucifer. No, he can't hurt his own son. Oh, okay. But the writer can hurt Spawn, so in theory, that would let him hurt Dad. Okay, maybe that makes sense. So Mom comes looking for Danny. Johnny makes a comment about Ghostrider being an angel and resurrects Danny. Granted, the kid is innocent, but like this, like blessing power. Now, to be fair, the writer is a spirit of vengeance. That doesn't necessarily mean he's an angel or a demon. If he's an agent of hell, though, and he's using hellfire as a weapon, then maybe he's definitely not of heaven. But that doesn't mean that he necessarily wouldn't be able to resurrect Danny, especially since Danny is the spawn of Satan. So there's a certain amount of hell power that could be used to infuse him. There's so many like things like they could have gone with, or we could have been discussed from this movie, but they literally just don't do anything. They just go, angel, res, blue fire, bye-bye, and that's how they end the fucking movie. It's a horrible... It's really horrible. I can't believe like Nick Cage signed up for a second one, or didn't read the script first. Like, he's like, oh, I guess I need a paycheck. But for the love of God, like maybe they signed him up for 3 movies, and then after the second one, or given like a certain amount of sales per movie, and the second one didn't do well enough, so they never did a third. Maybe that's it. Maybe, oh God, maybe there is a planned. Ugh. But it is what it is. What it is. Thanks for watching this. Come watch some bad movies with us on Sundays at rabbit/Camerai. It's rabb.it/Camerai. Come watch it with us. We'll have a good time making fun of shitty movies. I think Punisher's after this. We'll go through all 3 of those movies because there's one in 1989 that's actually not too bad. But I like Punisher, so that's that. And then we'll eventually see Captain America Jack Cars. It's amazing. Really, really, really. So until you see us next time, have a nice day from us here at #WeAreMovieClub. This has been Bad Movie Club. Want to see anything else we're up to? Go ahead and click the annotations and they'll take you to other channels. Thanks for watching.